Hello, and welcome to my project on motion sensors. History of the motion sensor. The motion sensor was invented in the 1940s by Samuel Bagneux. It was not released until the year 1950. Bagneux, a seasoned veteran of the military, incorporated ultrasonic waves and the Doppler effect into his technology to make this possible. Pictured here is Samuel Bagneux and his colleagues and the first motion sensor, courtesy to Getty Images. Now you might be thinking, what is the Doppler effect? How do you use the Doppler effect to make a motion sensor? And the definition of the Doppler effect, according to Wikipedia, is the change in frequency of a wave in relation to an observer who is moving relative to the wave source. Now, that might sound confusing, so I'll give you an example. If an ambulance is in front of your house with a siren, the siren will sound the exact same over time due to the ambulance staying in that spot. It's stagnant, so the number of waves is the same because it is in that same spot. But if the ambulance is moving away at a fast rate, the frequency will be less frequent. The pitch will be changing, so it will sound different. As you can see here, the source and observer are at rest. The wavelength and frequency of sound waves emitted by the source are moving with the velocity. Here, source is moving towards the observer who is at rest. The motion of the source that is moving with the velocity is relative to the observer that alters the wavelength and frequency of the sound waves. So I thought that was a good example. Evolution of the motion sensor. In the 1970s, the motion sensor was a popular product and component in alarm systems. However, one of these issues with the motion sensors was that something like wind or a clock moving would set the alarm off. Essentially, the motion sensor had plateaued with some underlying issues. However, in the 1980s, the motion sensor was created, the infrared one. The article states that infrared motion sensors worked by emitting infrared radiation, detecting differences in temperature between an object and its surroundings. It is an interesting point to point out that microwaves also use this same technology, as the pulses from the microwave are sent out and the device measures it, looking for interruptions. As we can see here, we have a standard PIR motion sensor. We'll get into that in a bit, but motion sensor from the 1970s, so looks a lot different today, yeah? All right. Current uses today. You could say that today the motion sensor had been mastered. Companies use a technology called LiDAR, also known as light detection and ranging. The article states how this works in detail. In quotations, LiDAR uses a pulse laser to calculate the distance from the laser source to an object. By measuring the laser's reflection, 3D representations of surfaces can be created. Once a static scene is established, changes to that scene can trigger a motion alarm. LiDAR has some advantages, one of the most obvious being that some small obstruction, like wind or an object falling over, will not cause the motion sensor to go off. However, also, the target size can be adjusted and the effectiveness of the target being tracked has immensely improved. Most security techs will conduct walk tests as well. John Marco, a representative of the company Optex, says this. Optex LiDAR sensors enhance motion sensor capabilities by providing more detection, customization, and onboard laser analytics that give you the ability to minimize false and nuisance alarms. We also have the ability to accurately display and provide the exact size, speed, and location of an object and transmit that data to multiple platforms. Pictured here, I put a burglar. And that's the motion alarm. So there are different types of motion sensor alarms. This one is the active ultrasonic. The active ultrasonic motion sensors see ultrasonic sound waves at frequencies that humans cannot hear. The waves bounce off objects and return back to the source, which would be the motion sensor. It also has a transducer, which sends a pulse and receives the echo of the sound frequency back. The article states the sensor determines the distance between itself and the target by measuring the time between sending and receiving the signal. Most motion sensors will allow you to configure sensitivity, meaning it won't trigger if the distance to the object is too far. If that signal received is within specified parameters, the motion sensor will trigger, alerting you that someone or something is near the motion sensor. Pictured here is an active ultrasonic motion sensor. All right, passive infrared sensors. So here's the thing with passive infrared sensors. They're harder to operate and still have the same exact results as active ultrasonic motion sensors. They may cost you more money. On a passive infrared motion sensor, they have two sensors. So the first one detects IR change. As we all know, material such as walls, floors, windows, doors, and the ceilings, etc., emit heat. So the first sensor notices the heat or change in heat from these objects, which will trigger your alarm to turn on your lights or trigger an alarm. Depends on how it's installed. The second sensor will detect if something has moved in the room and activate. So two sensors, one detects heat change and the other one detects moving. So passive infrared sensors are considered worse because they can trigger false alarms easier. If, say, you have a fireplace, boiler, or furnace in its range, because those will be giving a substantial amount of heat constantly when they're on. So you got to keep that in mind. It should also be known that less commonly used motion sensors are around. The tomographic motion sensor, which is what we have right here, is made up of nodes, and these nodes will activate the sensor if an object is between the nodes and breaks. So another one is vibration motion sensors that detect vibrations from people and objects. These are not common or typical in homes. Typically, a motion sensor only has a range of about 80 feet, meaning it would be detrimental to put it in a long hallway or big workspace in an office. So put those by your entryways. All right, this is Connor Schrabin. I hope you enjoyed my motion sensor project, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.